Hey there, Internet. It's me, Broken Terrain, and I've got a ton of fun video for you today. This is just an example of why you should always keep your eyes open wherever you are, whatever you're doing. You never know when inspiration is going to strike. This is inspired by a piece of garbage from one of my daughter's favorite toy lines. Check it out right after the drop. Here it is. This little piece of plastic here, this little cat-shaped pill box, is a Squishmallow Squishville, like blind bag thing. You buy it, you pop it open. It's got one of many different little Squishmallow squishies. My daughter absolutely loves them, and when I saw the packaging, I'm like, give me that. I know I can do something crazy with that. And of course, we're going to combine it with one of my favorite toy lines, Finalfaction from the Dollarstore. I've been sitting on this figure for quite some time, wondering what I was going to do with it, and I thought I'm going to turn this little cat pill into this cat mech. So to get started, let's pull the arms and legs off of this robot, and I'm going to cut the thighs from the knees of its legs. I want to say this is inspired a bit by Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball. He's got a couple of robots like this with the real thin upper and arms and legs with the large forearms and calf type sections. So that's a bit what the design is going for. So a couple pieces of doweling for the upper leg, drilled into and then glued into place with the lower leg sections of the Dollarstore figurine. And so far so good. I'm actually pretty pleased with how it's looking. I'm going to drill out the same sized hole in the pill-shaped bottle, and you know me, let's eyeball it. I wasn't too worried about precise measurements. This project was all about fun, being silly, getting crazy. You can see I've got a piece of MDF, a little 4-inch square, I think, for the base. And I'm just gluing those legs down, putting those upper legs into the holes of the pill body there. And now I'm working on the arms. I end up drilling holes into either side of the little cat body, and the arms actually fit in there quite well as they were. If you're familiar with how at least some of the cheaper action figure joints work, this kind of just it completes kind of a ball and socket, but it's more like a pancake in a socket. And this allows me to kind of move and position the arms. This will play in a little bit later. Someone had mentioned some of my figurines have a bit too static a pose, and he still ends up with fairly static a pose, but I did raise one arm. I'll do better next time. You just got to keep improving and trying, right? Anyway, this guy was really simple to put together. I mean, he's basically done. The pill body with the arms and the legs, done, right? So now it's time to scavenge bits and pieces from other Finalfaction bits, look through all my bits bin, find out all the little bits and pieces I can glue and add and make him more robot, and give me more things to paint and to texture, because right now it would be incredibly boring as is. So I tap my collection of bits and pieces, and I just get to work. Those cyber arms I put to really good use. I end up adding a blade onto one of the hands here. I have the arms themselves put together almost as it's supposed to be from the package, and then I just stick it onto the upper part of the cat robot's back, and it looks like he's got a couple of really ominous looking robotic arms to assist with whatever he might need. I cut a few other bits and pieces up, give him some asymmetrical shoulder type armor, and just keep adding little bits and pieces where I find they look really good, they blend in well. I've got some machine guns from an earlier pack, and I'm going to give him or give the cat robot a machine gun, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to have it like a belt fed. So I end up hot gluing a bunch of toothpicks down on a little chip, and then I use a piece of that one-sided corrugated board on the other to make it look as though the empty side of the belt. I'll also end up like gluing a couple of beads down on the base, and it looks like expended shells that I'll later paint with a brass. Again, it's still a little plain, and to help this, I end up cutting some chip, poking around the edges and corners, a couple of like rivet or bolt holes, and then I glue them to the body a bit like patch. I asked my wife, Mrs. Terrain, if it should have a tail, and she replied, yes, of course. So I grabbed a piece of large speaker wire, glued a buzzsaw onto the end of it, drilled a hole in the cat robot's butt, and put the tail in place. And I actually really like it, and the speaker allows for it to be kind of posable. Now, the speaker cable itself didn't take the paint very well, and I knew that I would pose the tail, so I kind of left it as is. Take the whole thing outside, hit it with a black spray primer. I've been using Rust-Oleum lately. Krylon started to fail me for some reason. I'm not sure. Maybe I just got a bad can of white, but I'll use what I have now, and maybe I'll try them again later. They ruined many a model, though. So maybe I won't. Maybe I'll stick with Rust-Oleum. We'll see. I give the whole robot a blue, and the blue is a little darker than maybe it should have been. The missus suggested that a lighter color might have worked a little better, but hindsight's always 20/20. Go back in with a gunmetal and hit various bits and pieces up with the gunmetal, and then I'm going to hit some trim with King's Gold. So now he's kind of like a yellow and blue. My son remarked he looks a lot like a Space Marine. Not quite my intention, but why not? I did sneak a decal or two on there too. A couple of skulls. You can see his call number there, 09. 9 lives, get it? Catbot 09, maybe. Now it's time to really get in with the paint. I started to weather him up by dabbing some of the gunmetal around the edges and where I think heavy rust might be, and then I went in with the sepia wash, and then just kind of dripped and dragged it down from where there would be rust collection. Any kind of cracks and grooves, anything that water might rest on and begin to rust the old Catbot up. And this is where I really started to fall in love with the thing. I wasn't really sure of this thing until I started weathering it. And once I started weathering it, it started to come alive for me. This is when I really began to appreciate the ridiculousness that I had just created. I'm going to go in with Earthshade, the brown wash, and just go over the sepia and in other areas and drip it down. This is going to give it a layer or a feeling of grime over years. And then I'm going to go to my Technic paint there from Citadel, and in the heavier spots, I'm just going to lay this down. This is a nice grit to it and is going to work really well to sell that rust effect. Cake it up, and it looks like the metal's just corroding and flaking off of the metal. After that dries, I'm going to go in with a dark orange wash and go over a lot of these heavy areas of rust and lay this nice orange down. It pops a little color in there, grimes the mech up even more so, really sells the rust effect. Once that dries, I'm going to go in and dry brush a very light orange, ever so carefully. It actually picks out the areas of relief on that Technic paint that I used, which actually consisted of a very fine grain. It's going to sell the look really well. I'm not going to lie, the base was a little bit of an afterthought. I was pure focus on the cat robot here, so I break up some cork. I put it down, painted a pavement black or gray, let it dry. I'm going to go back later and dry brush it with white, pop the edges, get a texture, and then I'm going to just mess around with the snow. I really liked the snow from my last project, and I think me and snow are going to have a wonderful future together in crafting. I can't wait to do more snowy bits, and look for those soon. Here it is here, Valhalla Blizzard by Citadel. Good stuff. Fun to use. You almost layer it on like a forbidden frosting. Don't eat it. It's forbidden. It'll make you sick. Don't do it. No, I don't know from experience. Stop asking. Anyway, that's it. What a crazy fun project this was. It ended up being really ridiculous, very whimsical. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, if I'll ever use it for anything. But every once in a while, you got to do something crazy and fun, like this cat robot, Cat Mech 09, futuristic exterminator of men. I don't know. The thought of it going around the battlefield just causing havoc with its chainsaw tail, its robotic back arms just ripping people to shreds, all with this strange little cat smile on its pill-shaped body. It really does amuse me. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, smash that like button for me. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe so that you get each and every one of my videos when they release. If you want to support the channel, go to my subscribe star, check it out. I've got my pen and paper RPG. I think you'll really like it. I've got a Teespring shop. I've got Amazon affiliate links down below in the video description. If you want to go shopping for some of the things and materials you see in this video and others, use those links. It'll help out the channel. If you want to buy me a coffee as a thanks, as an appreciation for all the hard work, smash a super thanks for me. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. I could not do this without you. You help inspire me to continue and just try new things and do weird stuff like this like this cat robot. So thank you so much, everybody. As always, like each other, love each other, and craft on.